everybody, it's Mark the Family Woodworker. Hey, 2022 was an amazing year for the woodshop. Let's dive into the highlights. We moved to a new house with no woodshop. Time to start the build with the flooring and then add some bright LED lighting across the entire ceiling. The room needed a wider doorway and a new electrical service too. The biggest expense was the cabinet wall, but now we have 8 feet to work with on both sides of the miter saw. One of our coolest features is the whiteboard Formica countertops that you can write and design on, and of course wipe off. We also built a hidden woodshop door with a cool latch mechanism, and the finished door hides really nicely in between our furnace and water heater. I also created this in-wall safety cabinet for the shop, custom fit for dust, hearing, and eye protection, and a few band-aids handy too. It turned out great. Finally, I needed to solve a miter saw dust problem.
Show 'em the curve!
And these $6 umbrella ribs worked out great for hoops. Adding the fabric over the top, the solution was cheap and really effective. Let's talk about some amazing art projects from this past year. I wanted to design a kinetic sculpture that featured the motion of the sun's rays and build a center epoxy core that controlled the movement of wooden dowels. Driven by a small motor, the motion of the sun's rays in the elliptical gears is really relaxing and hypnotic. Be sure to check out that video. All links will be in the description. We also wanted some sort of wind-driven kinetic sculpture for the back garden. I started designing the central hub and rotating wheels and then cut them out in the bandsaw, also drilling in some holes for bearings. I used a leaf pattern on some Brazilian ipe wood and hollowed out the backs with this custom-made gouging jig. 14-inch long brass rods were bent over a log to give me consistent curves, and the rods were glued into the central hub. Leaves were added at the recommended angle to complete each one of the rotating wheels. The motion just looks awesome, and the finished artwork looks even better in the breeze. My last art project this year was a multicolored 3D work to fit over my desk, and I had to start with the dimensions of a donor frame. Even a thrift store or a garage sale frame would work too. Using clear pine cut down to 1.25 inch widths, I made random curved cuts on 25 different pieces. By mixing 3 different wood stains, 25 unique colors were created, one for each curved piece of pine. They were then glued and assembled into the frame after a satin polyurethane finish was applied, and the completed piece was hung above my video editing desk. It looks fantastic. We also did some hardcore tool reviews this year, the most recent of which was for a new table saw after my Delta contractor saw decided to fall apart on me.
You can't do that!
I opted for a Grizzly Model 899, which was delivered direct to my home, although it weighed about 450 pounds and it was a little hard to get down to the shop. After the table assembly was complete, we tested the power and ease of use and checked the accuracy of the controls. The saw's overall performance was quite good, and the saw rates 4.5 out of 5 thumbs. We also bought a Bosch electric planer for the shop after realizing all the hand plane work required for this walnut slab. It came with good accessories and features along with the carbide cutting blades and made short work out of flattening this beautiful slab of walnut. This tool also gets 4.5 out of 5 thumbs. We revisited a 2-year-old purchase of a Rikon entry-level scroll saw to provide a performance review. It was hard to originally choose a brand given that one manufacturer seems to make this saw for multiple resellers. But the Rikon has really performed well for us these past 2 years and is perfect for tight cuts on thin wood stock. My son uses it a ton and we like the performance. Overall, this rates 4 out of 5 thumbs. Earlier in the year, we bought an entry-level laser engraver.
You know, I have one simple request, and that is to have sharks with frickin' laser beams attached to their heads.
Well, it isn't that, but we did a full unboxing, assembly, and review, and we engraved multiple designs during our testing with some pretty good results. On the downside, you'll need to accommodate the smoke that gets generated from the burn process and find a way to vent it outdoors. You'll also have to learn how to use some new software, although it's free, in order to process the graphics you want to engrave. Because of the difficulty to learn and get proficient with this tool, it gets 3.5 out of 5 thumbs. We didn't tackle very many furniture projects this year, but we did manage to build this beautiful walnut slab coffee table for my oldest daughter, and a custom fireplace mantle for my youngest daughter, installed by our traveling woodworker Matt after securing the ledger board. It looks very cool in her new condo. Hey man, that's it? Well, like they say on late night cable TV, wait, there's more! We also installed some cool paneled post wraps this year, made a custom birdhouse for my wife, free plans available, built an attractive charcuterie board for Thanksgiving, and I just finished a set of Cocobolo knife handles for a new chef knife set. Oh, and by the way, built a new website too. Lots of cool stuff out there should you be in a browsing mood. So thanks very much for joining us this year. You'll find links to all of our featured videos here in the video description. And please have a safe, healthy, and prosperous new year. Take care.